I don't know how to go about this video. I don't know how to say what I'm about to say. Neither do I know how to explain what I'm about to explain without it sounding stupid, pathetic, or unthought about. Now, don't worry, I'm not quitting YouTube. Burnout didn't get me that hard. But there is a massive change within me. And I think because of the, topic of my entire channel, I think I need to talk about it with you guys openly. Again, this is me being very open with my audience. So, today we're going to talk about sexuality. We're going to talk about identity. But most importantly, we're going to talk about a bit of an experience that I've had over the last couple of weeks. And something that I recently announced on Instagram. I'm going to give you some tips behind it. But I'm also going to kind of make people who were in a similar position to me a couple of weeks ago feel a bit more comfortable. So, let's jump into this video and see what the fuck happens. Now, I have no notes for this video. Normally, I keep notes on the side of this screen here. There's a screen here. I normally keep notes here. So that, if I lose my words or I just start rambling, I can get back on track with them notes. It's normally just bullet points of what I need to say. However, today, these notes don't exist. They're not there. And I don't have a simple explanation for that, apart from the fact that it's pretty hard to write notes about something that was probably one of the hardest decisions you've made in your entire teenagerhood. So, first off, let's just start with this. First thing I'm going to do. Now, I don't normally do this. This is something I've actually never done before. And I don't believe in it because, doing this makes me look like I'm scared of judgment. Which I'm not going to lie to you, I sort of am. I don't know how people are going to react to what I'm about to say. So, the comments on this video are being disabled. If you have anything you want to say to me, you can directly do it through Instagram. This is going to be done for my own protection. Also, disclaimer. If anything about sexuality or anything about, identity or people getting, changing their identity annoys you or makes you insecure or whatever, affects you in any way, I advise you click off this video right now because this is going to get deep. I've filmed quite intense videos in my life. I've exposed quite a bit of myself to you guys. And every single one of them videos is hard to film. But this is by far the hardest. I've told my family, I've told my friends, everyone knows, even people on Instagram who follow me there know about this. But saying it to a camera where you have no idea who's watching, who's seeing the other side of this, is a lot more intimidating than you think. You guys see me. You guys see a human being. I'm talking to a light and a camera. That should make it easier, but when you think about the amount of people who could see this, it does make your heart rate go up a tiny bit faster. So, I think we're gonna kick this off back when I was young. Because I think it's a suitable place to start this story off. I don't know why I'm calling this a story. This is a bit bigger than a story. But you get what I mean. When I was young, at one point in my life, I had long hair. Hair down to probably halfway down my back. I'm not going to explain the reasons behind this, but all you need to know is that I used to have long hair for a few years of my life when I was very young. I grew up obviously, as you can clearly see, that changed. But what didn't change is the thought process and the patterns behind that long hair. And the mental strain that put on me. Now, obviously, when you're young, you don't think about things, you know? You kind of just get on with your life. If you're young right now and you're watching, enjoy it. Because the chances are you've not got many worries and you don't care about a lot of things. Enjoy them times because it soon changes. But as time goes on, as you become a teenager, as you mature, as you're able to make decisions for yourself, as you learn what your needs, what your wants, and what your dreams are, and once you see yourself physically develop in a mirror every single day of your life, your brain starts to wander. And this is where insecurities come in. This is where, mind-blowing thoughts about your sexuality, about who you really are, start to creep up on you. For some people, these thoughts may just be very minor. You might just be able to push them to the side and be like, nah, stop, red flag, not doing that. But for many, them thoughts will stick with you, torment in your head. And then one day, someone says something or someone does something that makes you change your mind and change your identity or your sexuality for the rest of your life. Now, don't get me wrong. You can change your sexuality and identity and then a few years later change it back again. There's no limit to how many times you can change your sexuality. I can go from gay to straight to lesbian to bisexual as many times as I want. There is no limit to that. But it's still a big decision to make. And the hardest part of it is you have no idea how anyone is going to react. And me having that long hair when I was young brought up them insecurities in me. And them insecurities have stuck with me basically since I was about 10 or 12. Didn't really think about it much back then, but they were definitely there. Not recently, but I don't know how long ago, but at some point, I made a video about me, the transgender story, where I was considering going transgender and decided not to because I started to realise the implications of that. But just because I made that decision doesn't mean them insecurities are gone. It actually made them 10 times worse. Now, I know you're all begging me to get to the point, but you've got to hear the behind the scenes of this. You've got to hear all the nitty gritty stuff, because if I just jump in and say one sentence that reveals it all, you guys are going to sit there and think to yourself, what the frick is he doing? I don't call myself someone who is not confident, or doesn't like the way he looks, or can't walk down the street with his head held high. I sure fucking can. It actually creeps a lot of people out. Especially as a teenager, my confidence is pretty through the roof, considering I sit in front of a camera every day and do this. However, deep down, deep inside me, deep down somewhere, I don't know where the heck it's processed, somewhere in here, I am very insecure about certain parts of me. I'm insecure about how skinny I am. I'm a dude, but I have girl arms. Like, look at them things. Look at them pecs. You want some? Like, seriously, what is that? I'm insecure about the fact that I don't have facial hair. Yes, I'm 16 years old, just to let you know. I mean, I'm sure for some lads out there, that's pretty normal. Don't now go ahead and get insecure about that. But it's something I'm very insecure about, as I've seen all my mates and all the boys in my life grow up and get facial hair. I sit there and think to myself, well, where's mine? It's like for girls. Some girls develop later than others. And when your girlfriends are getting tits and arses, and you've not developed tits and arses, you start thinking to yourself, well, where's mine coming? Why have I not got them yet? It's the same with me, but for facial hair. Now, I have no idea when this is going to come along. Ain't got a clue, can't give you a date, haven't got a deadline. All I do know is it's probably going to be quite a few years from now. Because I clearly am developing quite late. What does this do to me? You're probably wondering. It doesn't really do anything. All it does is it doesn't make me think I'm masculine. Okay, that's quite a big thing to say. But yeah, sometimes I do question whether I'm more masculine than masculine. Masculine than masculine. That makes so much sense. Sometimes I wonder whether I'm more feminine than I am masculine. And I actually took an online test recently. I was actually going to do it on camera. Then I realised this video was going to be way too long and decided not to. And it showed that I am 100% more feminine. Like, pretty much 75% feminine. I have very feminine personality traits, and physically, I'm not far off. From an outsider's perspective, especially if you think I'm peng AF or, you know, there's probably girls out there sitting there fantasizing right now. I don't want to know what's going through your heads, okay? Keep your mouth shut. However, for me, it's hit a rock bottom. And a couple of days, I don't know how long ago it now was, probably about a week ago, I was in a discussion with a friend. I'm not exposing names, confidentiality is a thing. And we started talking about sexuality, identities, you know, discussing insecurities between the two of us. And she suggested to me the prospect of becoming non-binary. I'm hinting you even further into what I'm about to say. That suggestion went around in my head all night. I don't think I really slept that night because it was just continuous thought patterns. I was thinking about all the different things that could bring. And oh boy was I right. In the end, however, I started to do some research. Started to click on a few websites, do a bit of research, find out what the heck I was about to get myself into. If I did decide to do it, that was. And I liked the prospect. I watched videos of people saying they're non-binary. I watched videos of people describing what their lives are like as non-binary. I watched people describe the benefits and the negatives to being non-binary. I looked at people tell me how they identified. They were non-binary. And some of them videos I could severely relate to. Sounds stupid, but I generally could. So after that, I went away. Sat down and was like, you know what? It's time to do some relax, recap and plan action. Yes, I use my own techniques. I'm a cringy child, okay? Leave me alone. And the decision I made was very abrupt. After two people suggesting the same thing to me in a couple of days, I made the decision to go non-binary. I don't know how else to say it. It's pretty much that simple. I'm going to put a definition of what non-binary is on your screen right now, so I don't confuse the fuck out of any of you. Yes, I've made that decision. Wasn't easy, kept me up one night, probably keeps many people up many more nights, so I really can't complain. And it was a very abrupt and quick decision to make. But I had my reasonings. Now, realistically, you guys, as my fellow audience, don't really need to know that I'm non-binary. I could have kept that secret from you for probably quite a few freaking years. But I feel like as I make mental health content, and making decisions like that is a severe impact on your mental health. I feel like maybe even if I can help one person by talking about this, it was fucking worth it. I'm not going to go through how I'm going to be different, because I'm not going to change. Nothing about my fellow body, nothing about my fellow personality is going to change. All it means is that in my head, I have a bit of clarity for them insecurities. And that's the only reason we're doing this. But more importantly, I want people out there to know that not everyone's a fucking dickhead. As stupid as that sounds, I know what you're all sitting here saying. Obviously, not everyone's a dickhead. But when I first went into this, and made this massive decision, I generally thought to myself that everyone was just going to laugh in my face, tell me I'm stupid, and gag up some puke as they watch me say it. Generally thought that, not joking. But it turns out, if you've got a decent set of friends, which not everyone does, and I feel extremely sorry for you if you don't, you've got a decent family, again, which not everyone does, the chances are doing this is going to be a lot easier than you think. I haven't had one negative comment yet. I mean, I did make it very clear on Instagram that if anyone made a negative comment, I was literally going to block them. That's still sort of true for here. I don't know how I'd block you from my channel. I don't even know if YouTube allows that, but whatever. But yeah, apart from that, I did not get any negative comments. No one has said a negative fuck all about it. Actually, my friends have been surprisingly, extremely supportive of the option. They even made me feel comfortable on call, trying to change conversation and trying to make sure that, you know, it wasn't just awkward. Telling the girlfriend wasn't easy either. Not going to get into that. I get it. If there's anyone watching this video right now who is having similar thoughts, it might not just be about your identity, it could be about the idea that you want to go gay, you want to be lesbian, or you want to be bi. The thoughts will pursue you, and I get it. I've been through the thought pattern, as to be said. But what you've got to remember is that you are making this decision for you, no one else. Anyone that says fuck all about it, what does it matter? At the end of the day, words are not going to be able to do shit to you, to be honest. And even if someone does say something, tell them to go and try and go through that process themselves. Watch them deteriorate much worse than you did. It's not going to be easy. No one's ever going to tell you that. It's a big decision to make. It's not even just a decision. It's a freaking commitment. You put many friendships and many relationships on the line. Quite literally for me. But when you come out the other side of it, you realise that all them insecurities you had, or if you're going gay or lesbian, I can't really describe how it feels for both of them because I've never done it. But I'm kind of adapting it to the decision I made. You feel a bit more confident in yourself. You've clarified that begging thought inside your brain to change. Okay, so here's from the top of my head the questions that I think you should ask. First off, how is it going to benefit you? If you make this decision from all the... Actually, first off, do some research. Please don't make this decision without doing any research. You will regret it. But second, how is this going to benefit you? Because there's no point doing it if it's not going to benefit you. Because then you're just making decisions for the sake of being part of the amazing non-binary club. I'm still thrilled about it. Second, draw out something or say in your head, what parts of me are feminine or masculine? Probably one of the most important parts. If it's even on both sides, might give you a little inkling to that you're non-binary. Again, these are just off the top of my head. Please go and ask professionals if you want professional advice, because I am just doing what, you know, I did with my life, okay? No professionalism involved. Third, would you be okay with someone calling you a female name? Now, I haven't actually done this yet. I think I'm going to, though. Give myself a female name. It sounds quite... I was just about to say kinky. What the fuck is that word in my head for? It sounds quite interesting, and I'd like to see how that goes. I still... fucking kinky. What the fuck? Brain, no. Get your head out the sand, you stupid piece of rubbish. Anyway, moving on very swiftly, very quickly. So, now, would you be okay with someone calling you a female name? So for me, it would probably be like Christina or something along the lines of that. If you don't think you're okay with it, think again. I think this was a big hint for me. Is, do you feel more comfortable hanging around the opposite gender? Do you feel like you fit in more? Do you feel like there's more, you can relate to that gender more? And do you feel like they're more of a key friendship group than a bunch of lads or a bunch of women, or basically a bunch of the same sex? They're kind of the core things I asked myself that kind of picked apart the fact that I was pretty much non-binary. If you're out there right now and about to make this decision, I've tried to make this video a bit light and a bit funny, because if I sat there and started crying, no one would listen. Actually, probably quite a few people would listen. But I just didn't want to take it like that, because I don't want this to seem like a negative thing. I want this to seem like a decision that's going to help people, not a decision that I made because I'm insecure AF and it's a negative thing. Making decisions like this is positive, and it has benefited my life so much I can't explain. I don't get judged for being skinny or not having facial hair, because you know what, fuckers? I'm not no gender, because I'm spliced. That makes me sound like I just got cut in half. Don't worry, I still have a penis though. Just to reassure you. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube anymore? We're gonna get fucking the FBI storming through my door. I don't know how many people this video's helped. Neither do I know how to end this video. Again, I'm not good without any notes. But I do hope someone out there has been helped. And I can tell you now, if you've made the right decision, you will feel it. And you know what? If you don't, screw that. Just go back to being whatever you was. You can change again. You don't even have to tell anyone for the first week of doing it. Apart from that, guys, I don't know how to end this video. Again, I hope we're all having a great day. Hope we're all coping with everything at the moment. And I hope if you are struggling with these insecurities during this insane time, that you're talking to people about it, and that this has helped. But apart from that, I hope you accept me for who I am, and I'll catch you next time with my new non-binary quota. I need to make like a banner up there, just put non-binary. I'm probably not going to do that. Anyway, catch you next time. Bye-bye.